We had a capital campaign. We were given probably about maybe 5%. And we thought that was all we could ever afford. We had 2 kids, just started marriage and things of that sort. Later on, 2 kids, have a house, not sure we can pay for that. But yet during the capital campaign, it says, well, do you have like magazine subscriptions that you don't really need? Or do you eat out all the time? Can you eat at home once a time? So other alternatives are looking at things to help give more to God and see what happens in the world.
The crucifixion icon, it's a Johannine icon. It's a Johannine image from John's Gospel of Jesus laying himself out on the cross with the glory of God behind as a backdrop, glittering and sparkling in the 3 dimensions of this ancient Russian icon. I use this icon in talking about the development of the case for support in fundraising and why we're raising this money, because the words we're using to help people give their money to the church and to other organizations is a companioning act of helping people to understand why robustly pledging is so different from just tipping God. And it's a hard word for people sometimes to hear. And so all the work we do to communicate our case for support, that is why we deserve the money, because it's very important. The reason I use this icon for this conversation about case development and case for support development is that it captures the image for me of withness, not witness, but withness. Jesus is saying, okay, I'm handing this over to you and you need to support each other. Mother, this is your son. Son, this is your mother. You're now the church, ecclesia. Get on with it. The case for support is about communications. And communications cannot be underestimated. And the reason is because Jesus came to us as the idea. Oh, did he? Wait, how did Jesus come to us? Jesus came to us as the Word, not the notion. So if Jesus comes to us as the Word, then words are really important to God. Jesus says, preach the gospel, tell the story, speak the language. Beginning in 2015, Generation X is going to start taking over philanthropy. And the previous 2 generations, the baby boomers and the silent generation, are going to die off. I don't mean to sound so, well, it's just true. They are. I mean, none of us are getting out of this alive. And so they're going to begin to hand over responsibility for our church, its attendance, its volunteerism, and its philanthropy to Generation X. Beginning in 2015. That is 3 years from now. Can you see how calm the waters are before the waterfall? And that we're floating on those waters? Can you see why I think this is really important work we're doing? To deepen the spirituality of our churches, to not be distracted by things that don't help us in our churches, and to do better work around case development, mission, and raising of money. You know what? If we don't get our act together, really, seriously, this church of ours, if we don't get our act together and take a playbook page from the next generation, it won't fund us. And it won't come to church. Because it doesn't have to. But there's good news. They really want church. They all want mystery. They all want beauty. They all want silence. They all want worship and awe. They all want community and joy. They all want to come together for a meal. They all want everything we have. There's nothing about our church today that Gen X and Gen Y don't want and don't crave and won't fund and won't love and won't attend except for being bitchy. They're going to demand a cessation of conversations that distract the church. They're going to demand that you not play those games. They're going to demand that you care for the earth in some tangible way. They're going to demand transparency on vestry decisions. They're going to demand that you tell them what you're raising the money for and be convincing. And they're going to demand that you let them support you financially. I think that the churches that the Gen X and Gen Y choose will be funded and attended. The question is, how many of them will there be that they find attractive and that they find welcoming?